Hello friends and welcome back to my channel. This is Batel from Batel's Kitchen, and today we're going to be making one of the most popular dishes in the Moroccan cuisine. We're going to be making a couscous stew on a bed of couscous. So basically this wholesome dish is something that I grew up eating probably on a weekly basis growing up in Israel. In a Moroccan household, this is something that is extremely popular and very delicious. But today we're going to be making it 100% vegetarian, no meat or chicken, and still 100% satisfying and delicious and impressive and actually very nourishing and good for you. I'm gonna show you how to do it with all the steps. If you're new over here, don't forget to subscribe to my channel. I post a new recipe every single week, and all the measurements for this recipe are going to be in the description box below so you can check it out. Also, if you're looking for more options to jumpstart your healthier journey, check out my free ebook. It has beautiful breakfast and brunch ideas that you are going to love. Okay, let's get started. So in order to make that stew, we're gonna have to prepare all our vegetables. We're gonna start with our green cabbage. We're gonna cut it in half, and then each half we're gonna cut into medium chunks. I like to transfer the chunks into a bowl filled with water just to clean them out, and I like to sprinkle a generous amount of salt and let it sit over there while I take care of the rest of the vegetables. We're gonna peel our carrots, our zucchini, our squashes, and we're gonna set them aside. And now that we finished with the peeling, we're ready to cut them. So I like to cut the carrot pretty big, and I'm gonna cut each one into 3 pieces. Then each one we're gonna cut in half. This way we have those beautiful chunks, but feel free to make them smaller if you'd like to. Moving on to our zucchini, we're gonna remove the tips and the bottoms, and we're gonna cut each one into circle, and feel free to cut them in half if you would like to. And we're gonna do the same with our yellow squash. I like to peel them in zebra patterns. They look a little bit nicer when they cook. We put everything into a colander and we're gonna give it a rinse pretty soon. Moving on to our pumpkin, which is very traditional in the Moroccan couscous soup because it is very hearty and very wintry and delicious. So we're gonna cut the pumpkin into big chunks. And feel free to leave the peel if you'd like to. Just make sure you wash it extremely well. Today I'm going to take it off, but sometimes I do leave it on. Making sure we have a good knife not to cut ourselves. And then I like to take the peel and just very thinly slice it and remove it from the flesh. And I do the same in the front part just to get rid of the seeds if there are any. And now we're going to put all the pumpkin as well with the rest of the vegetables. Celery is very important in that dish because it gives a very wintry and delicious flavor into the stew. So don't skip the celery. Now we're going to cut all the ribs into medium small pieces. And we're gonna put them as well into a bowl with water, and I like to put salt as well just to make sure everything is clean because celery could be pretty dirty and dusty. So I like to let it sit over there. We're so close to making the stew. We're gonna start with our onion. We're gonna cut some onions. You can use 2 medium ones or 1 big one, but the onion always gives a beautiful flavor, so we're gonna dice it into small pieces. We're gonna do the same with our tomato, making sure we cut it, and we're gonna make sure the tomato actually melts into the stew. It becomes sweet and delicious. And now we are ready to assemble that dish. So we're gonna take a big pot that is actually good for soups and stews. We're gonna drizzle a nice amount of olive oil, and we're gonna put our onions. We're also gonna sprinkle a little bit of salt just to help the onions sweat, and we're gonna let it stay over there for maybe 2 to 3 minutes until they get translucent. We're gonna add our tomato and our celery, which we washed and cleaned, and we're gonna continue to mix until all the smell and all the flavors start to infuse. We're gonna add our spices right now. We're gonna add turmeric, cumin, cinnamon, and we're gonna add salt and pepper as well. And make sure everything gets fragrant and delicious. We're gonna add a few prunes. You can add dates or you can add raisins if you'd like to, but get one of those that you love into the stew because they give a beautiful dimension of color and flavor and sweetener to the dish. We're gonna add our harder vegetables like the root vegetables. We're gonna add the carrots and the pumpkin. We're gonna make sure that those that take longer to cook are actually on the bottom. And then we're gonna add our washed and rinsed cabbage, and we're gonna make sure that it is flat. And then we're gonna add our zucchinis, which takes the fastest to cook. So we're gonna arrange them on top of the dish, and we're gonna add water. We're gonna make sure that the water actually gets just to the part of the top of the vegetables, but not covering them at all because the vegetables are full of water. We're gonna add some chickpeas as well. We're gonna add salt and pepper, and we're gonna add a little bit of brown sugar, raw sugar, just to balance all the spices. That's optional, but I like to add it on top of the chickpeas. It gives a beautiful flavor. Now we're gonna add our celery leaves, and we're adding a bunch of cilantro and parsley, which we're gonna remove later. We're gonna let that stew cook for maybe an hour, making sure we tilt the pot here and there just to make sure everything is well coated with the sauce. And now here is something that is extremely untraditional, but because my mom usually makes the soup not vegetarian, there is always a chicken or meat or some sort of bones. I like to enhance the flavor of my soup by adding some miso. This is not traditional, but it is extremely, extremely delicious. So I take a little bit of the water from the stew, I add it to some hot water into a bowl, and I like to dissolve the miso with the water, making sure there are no lumps. And then I'll add it back to the dish and let it cook for a few more minutes while we're making the couscous. And now for making the couscous, we're gonna add our prepared couscous, which is our shortcut, not traditional in the Moroccan cooking because my mom actually does make the couscous from scratch, but we're taking a shortcut and that's okay. So we are gonna drizzle some olive oil and we're gonna season it with some salt and pepper, and we're gonna start mixing it with a spoon or with a fork. But in order to get a really, really nice, fluffy and foolproof couscous, we can actually use our hands. So I'm taking my hands over here and I'm making sure that each grain is coated with the oil. That's gonna prevent the couscous from sticking. It's gonna be extremely airy and fluffy. Now we're gonna add our boiling water while our soup is just about to finish cooking with the miso inside. And we're gonna give it a quick mix and make sure we cover it extremely well and let it sit for 5 minutes. And now we are going to complement that beautiful dish with making a Moroccan traditional salad from tomatoes, jalapeno or chili pepper, and a lot of garlic. We're gonna season it with some salt and pepper and fresh lemon. Always has to be a fresh lemon. And we're gonna give it a mix and add olive oil as well. That takes every bite to the next level. Now that the couscous is ready, we're gonna fluff it with a fork in a circular motion, making sure that every grain is separated. And if you feel like there are any lumps, feel free to dip your clean hands into the bowl and break them apart. This is optional, but it adds some more air. And now we are ready to assemble our plate. We're gonna remove the leaves that we're not interested in because they have infused all the flavor into the vegetables. And now we're gonna scoop a few tablespoons into a plate and we're gonna flatten it just a little bit, making sure we have room to put all our vegetables on top. And now it is time. We are going to load that plate with all those vegetables. And when we load that plate with all those vegetables, we want to make sure we use a big spoon so we don't break them apart. We want to have the pieces really presentable and whole and very beautiful and attractive so we can see actually what we're eating. We're going to make sure we add all the sauce because this is where all the flavor is. And we're going to make sure we have a nice amount of chickpeas as well because that's our protein in this dish. And now for the final part, we're gonna take some of our Moroccan salad. It is a spicy salad, so it's up to you how much you want of it. But we're gonna add a few tablespoons of it on the side or in the middle of the plate and make sure we drizzle from that delicious sauce all over the plate and we are ready to dig in. This dish is hearty, it is a main meal, it is always delicious and very impressive. The smell in the house is insane, and you can get a tremendous amount of vegetables in one serving, which is absolutely amazing. I hope you're gonna give this dish a try. That's it for today, my friends. I hope you enjoyed. I hope you're gonna give this couscous dish a try. If you did, don't forget to let me know in the comments below. And also, if you're looking for more options of vegan, vegetarian options that are easy, delicious, gluten-free, and so good for you, check out my cookbook, Eggless Possibilities. You can find so many meals that the whole family can enjoy. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.